What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Finn of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And guys, tonight, I'm recording this the night before, I wanted to do a post-NFL Combine mock draft for the Kansas City Chiefs. Full 7 rounds. Haven't done a full 7-round mock draft quite yet, but wanted to do one tonight. I'm feeling one right now, and I think, the fact that we just saw the NFL Combine and got an even closer look at some of our favorite NFL prospects, the board is starting to take shape. I've got my guys that I like. I'm going to dive into a few of them in this video that we're sure to come across, but be sure to leave your comments down below about each pick that I make. Definitely want to get your guys' take if you agree or disagree with me on most of these picks, but without further ado, let's get into it. I have it set to fast, so it's going to move through pretty quickly. I'm not going to focus on the other teams. We're just going to focus on the Kansas City Chiefs and the players that are available when we pick. So I may entertain a few trades in this one, but I'm going to keep it realistic as well because I know that the Kansas City Chiefs don't really trade back all that much. They're more so a trade-up team, but if it was me, I would try to trade back and get more picks in the second to third round. But I'm not going to create a trade. I don't really like any of these offers, to be honest. I mean, although moving back about 13 spots and getting that pick 76 is a little enticing. Should we kick it off with the trade? I actually do kind of like that one. I do. Houston's offering us a haul for moving back to pick 58, although that's pretty far back. I'll just stick with pick 31. You guys probably want to see me make the pick, so I'll reject that. But Okay, I like some of the prospects that are available right here. So we got Tyleik Williams, the defensive tackle from Ohio State, Walter Nolan. I think I've taken Walter Nolan in the first round the last 2 mocks that I've done. So I kind of want to try to do something a little bit different this time, although I would definitely strongly consider him if he's there at 31. Don't overthink this. Do not let another uber-talented player go to the Philadelphia Eagles at 32 with the Chiefs picking at 31. Just don't do it. Xavier Watts, the safety from Notre Dame, is there. I kind of like him. I've expressed many times on this channel my desire for the Kansas City Chiefs to acquire a true strong free safety. I don't know if Watts is necessarily that. He's got some traits that I like, but I don't know if I'd call him a full-time free safety, and I think that's what you need. Harold Fannin Jr., the tight end, is intriguing, but he ran a little bit of a disappointing 40-yard dash at the Combine. And he's supposed to be a good athlete. Not that it was a bad 40-yard dash. I believe he ran a 4.7, which, I mean, for a tight end, not bad, but not quite what I wanted to see from him. Jihaad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama. I mean, that is a do-it-all linebacker. You know that you're going to have to replace Nick Bolton in this draft. I really like Campbell. He graded out as a great athlete this past weekend. That one actually is very enticing because I expect most of the Chiefs' free agency to be focused on the offense. That's where the dollars should go. And then that way, most of the draft you can focus on taking best player available. The Minnesota offensive tackle is there. He's very athletic. Again, though, you got to talk about arm length with these guys. There's just not too many players that fit the Chiefs' arm length threshold at offensive tackle, that makes sense. Shamar Stewart, the edge from A&M, is up there, I see. He's kind of shot up the boards. I was able to get him, I think, in like the second or third round, the last couple of mocks that I did. So he's shooting up the board, it seems, but I think that's a little rich for him because he will still need some development. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Jihaad Campbell here, though. I think he's maybe the best player available. Besides maybe, one of the D tackles that are here. But I've kind of done that already, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jihaad Campbell, and I like that one. The need is there. keeping this defense young and athletic, replenishing the defense with some young guys, cheap talent. Don't really like any of these trades, so I'm probably going to decline those again. And look who we got at pick 63, still on the board, Deone Walker, the defensive tackle from Kentucky. I really like him. And I see Quinshon Judkins is there, which some people may not like taking a running back this high. But you pick a few picks later. Man, that's tough. I like Quinshon Judkins, though. I don't know if you're going to be able to get him any later in the draft. He may get taken in one of these next two picks after this one. But I think Deone Walker's a no-brainer here. I mean, that guy, man, he is absolutely massive. Let me see what size. They have it on 6'7", 331 pounds. Just wreaked havoc at Kentucky, guys. I mean, if you have not watched Deone Walker tape, please go and watch. I mean, he is one of the most just disruptive defensive tackles in all of this draft. Kind of surprised he's still here. I'm going to go ahead and take him and then cross my fingers that Quinshon Judkins is there 2 picks later. But Travion Henderson's also there. So, I mean, one of those guys has got to be available, I would think. Watch the Eagles and Giants, and I'll take both the running backs. Oh, no. So neither of them took a running back. This is good. This is good. I don't want to trade back either. No, I'm rejecting that. Give me... this is so obvious, guys. I mean, I don't want to fly through this mock draft and have this video be too short, but, come on. They're making this too easy. Quinshon Judkins, he's the explosive threat that the Chiefs need in the backfield in 2025. He just is. Safety, Andrew Makuba, he's one of my draft crushes in this draft. I think he can play all over the defensive backfield. But again, I've kind of done that the last few times. I'm going to go and take a running back and fix that need once and for all with a young, athletic, explosive running back, Quinshon Judkins. I want to see what they say about him. Obviously graded out as an elite athlete this past weekend at the Combine. But they say, he excels with an explosive first step and a thunderous running style that punishes defenders and forces missed tackles. Though his vision isn't elite, his patient approach and power make him a consistent threat. Judkins' dense frame enables him to churn out yards after contact, showcasing a physical edge that keeps him among the nation's top rushers, even if he's less dynamic than in his freshman year. Guys, that almost kind of sounds like Kareem Hunt to me, but just a younger, more explosive version. So I would bring back Kareem Hunt and free agency, draft Quinshon Judkins, and have yourself a pretty physically imposing running back room. So I'm taking it. I like how this draft is going. So this might be my favorite one yet, honestly. All right. Don't like that trade. I don't see the value there. So, man. I already took a running back. Otherwise, I'm sure everyone would be screaming at me to take DJ Giddens. I had a lot of people. I think it was the last mock draft I did that was like, why did you pass up on DJ Giddens? I passed him, I think, to take Devin Neal instead. Could go either way, though. I like DJ Giddens, though. He may be above Devin Neal for me now that I've studied him a little bit more. So maybe you guys were right, and I apologize. I just hadn't gotten to that point yet. But they were pretty close for me, and they still are pretty close. I don't think you could go wrong with either one, but DJ Giddens just has that kind of quickness and speed that you just don't see that often. Gunnar Helm, the Texas tight end, is there. That could be an interesting one. I see that Tez Johnson is there, the wide receiver from Oregon. I just cannot take a guy that weighed in at 156 pounds at the Combine. Absolutely no way. The Chiefs already pushed that limit with Xavier Worthy, who was, I think, 170 at the Combine, 175, something like that. Tez Johnson, man, that weight scares me. And not only did he weigh in at 156 pounds, he only ran a 4.5. Man, if you're going to slim down like that, you better be running a sub 4.3 40-yard dash. He didn't do that. So I'm not doing it. Kyron Lacey, we talked about him. I don't even know if that guy gets drafted. But the TCU wide receiver, Jack Bech. Now, if the Kansas City Chiefs are, again, trying to get young and explosive on offense again. Jack Bech, the wide receiver from TCU, he was great at the Senior Bowl. Absolutely tore it up. I still see wide receiver as a big need on this team. For some reason, a lot of you guys, intend on debating me saying wide receiver is not a need. Guys, Hollywood's a free agent. D-Hop's a free agent. Juju's a free agent. Rashee Rice is going to miss time. They need a wide receiver. Xavier Worthy is an injury risk as it is at his size. You need to stack depth. You don't want to go in with the bare minimum that you think you need. You need to stack depth so that something like what happened last year doesn't happen again. And, that's something that the Philadelphia Eagles have done. And you saw, all the ways that they could beat you in the Super Bowl because they stacked depth on offense and at the skill positions. The Chiefs should be doing something similar. I would bring back Hollywood Brown and draft a receiver and maybe sign another veteran after that or draft multiple wide receivers. That's what I would be doing. Get explosive on offense. Give Patrick Mahomes weapons. Why are you guys so insistent on taking away weapons from Patrick Mahomes? To me, the Chiefs should be operating this offseason as if it's just Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, because that's pretty much what it is. And I would act as if Rashee Rice is more of a luxury than someone you can depend on at this point. And I'm not saying that as I don't think he's going to get healthy and come back strong, but I'm saying that you don't just bank on a guy coming off a PCL injury like that, who will also probably get suspended for, a length of time. I don't like just saying, okay, we're all right at that position. No, go and attack it. Get explosive. Give me Jack Bech, the wide receiver from TCU, 6'1", 214 pounds. That's the kind of frame that I would like to see the Chiefs add to this wide receiver room. Sharp route runner, they call him. And I kind of talked about maybe getting Stephon Diggs on a 1-year deal as a veteran free agent in a recent video. Instead of that, you can go ahead and just draft Jack Bech instead. A guy that can make catches in traffic and is a good route runner and has decent size. Also graded out as an elite athlete this past weekend at the NFL Combine. Draft athletes. Let's do it. Jack Bech, welcome to the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, guys, loving this draft so far. Hope you are too. Chiefs won't have a pick here for a while. It'll take a minute. And now here we are. Okay. So at this point, you're going to be looking at taking the best player available. We've already hit most of the major needs besides offensive tackle, which everyone's probably going to be screaming at me. Why didn't you take a tackle? Because it's not a good tackle class. And I'm going to keep stressing that all offseason. It's just not a great time to need an offensive tackle, guys. It isn't. Howard Cross from Notre Dame seems like the obvious pick here, maybe. Could double up at running back. Rocket Sanders from South Carolina is still there. He's big and fast. Dylan Sampson from Tennessee, I've taken him a couple times, though, I believe around this same range. Who else is there? I'm not really seeing a ton at DB. Not at this pick. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and double up at running back. And I'm going to make... I mean, if I do this, though, because I said something earlier about, retaining Kareem Hunt, but if I did this, it would probably mean that you don't add any free agents to the running back room, before the draft, if this was your draft. But I really like Rocket Sanders and his upside. He bounced back at South Carolina this past year after transferring from Arkansas, where he dealt with some injuries. And also, I think I remember hearing about how he was misused at Arkansas or had some he was ill-advised about his playing weight and stuff like that. I like Raheem Sanders, though. Rocket Sanders, they call him. Him and Quinshon Judkins would be quite the rookie running back class. So I'm just looking at best player available. I know some people may say, you could have gone a different direction, but I don't really care. I like the pick. Man, all running backs here. Johnny Walker, the edge from Missouri, that's my guy. He wasn't invited to the combine. Did play at the East-West Shrine game, though. Had a sack against his former teammate Brady Cook in the East-West Shrine game. Showed good burst off the line. He's a relentless pass rusher. I was really disappointed to see that he was not invited to the NFL Combine because he's a great player. I believe he had the most consecutive games with a sack this past year in Power Conference college football. So he's very productive. He's explosive. Not the bendiest guy. Not the bendiest guy around the corner, but definitely the kind of player that Spags likes and the player that I think the Chiefs are going to do their homework on. You saw Armand Membo, the other Missouri Tiger, talk about how Johnny Walker gave him hell in practice, when he was an underclassman, and that he was really shocked to see that he wasn't invited to the combine. I haven't addressed Edge yet, but you see he's 6'2", 246 pounds. I know I just said that I think he's kind of a Spags type of guy. Maybe not necessarily size-wise, but I think the way he plays, and I think he really made strides as a run defender in his senior season. He didn't really play contain all that much as a sophomore or a junior, but I think he really cleaned that up his senior year, and I think he'd be worth a late-round flyer at this point in the draft, especially since I haven't addressed edge yet, and I would definitely like to see the Chiefs keep adding to that pass rush because they tried adding, pass rush specialists, in Cam Thomas and Joshua Uche during the course of the season, giving up draft picks to bring them in. Didn't work out, but I could definitely see Johnny Walker as a designated pass rusher at the next level, and so I'm going to go ahead and take him here. And then I believe we got one more pick. Yeah. So, at this point, guys, best player available. I haven't taken a DB yet, which I typically have done in these drafts. Although that's definitely an area where you could address, the veteran free agent market. I know I'm justifying a lot of my picks by talking about something else the Chiefs could do to address the position, but I just feel like, why not be thorough in my reasoning, for making each pick? Because I know some people are going to say, oh, Josh, why didn't you do this or why didn't you do that? This is why there's free agency as well. Free agent DBs, veteran DBs are usually pretty cheap. Like you just saw Darius Slay get released earlier today by the Philadelphia Eagles. Doesn't necessarily have to be him, but I'd certainly take him on a 1-year deal as the third cornerback because he raises the floor from Najee Johnson. Craig Woodson. Athletic and versatile safety, known for his fluid movement and physical play, demonstrates quick feet and smooth hips. Hey, man, that sounds good to me. Let Dave Merritt work with it. Dave Merritt, we know, is one of the best defensive back coaches in the league. The Chiefs need a free safety. Sounds like he's got the traits in order to be developed as a cover safety. Yeah, I'm doing it. Craig Woodson from California. Come on down to the Kansas City Chiefs. So that concludes this mock draft. And here's our class. Jihaad Campbell, the linebacker from Alabama. Deone Walker, the defensive tackle from Kentucky. Quinshon Judkins, the running back from Ohio State. Jack Bech, the wide receiver from TCU. Rocket Sanders, the running back from South Carolina. Johnny Walker, edge from Missouri. And Craig Woodson, the safety from California. Man, this is I mean, I'm not going to say it's a home run just because we didn't necessarily hit all the major needs, but as far as value and taking the best player available at every pick, I mean, this is a rock star draft right here. I really like it. Definitely one of my favorites so far, but want to hear from you guys. What do you think of my mock draft? Any picks you would have made differently? Definitely let me know in the comments below. But that's all I got for this one. I'm going to wrap up this video there. Definitely going to have some more mock drafts pumping out here over the next few weeks. So with all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Check out my work on showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com for more. And last but not least, follow me on Twitter at showmefb. That's all I got for you guys. I'll see you all in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs!